Hi, my name is Bhivavra Satyal and welcome to hackproject.org. Today we'll be talking about Raspberry Pi. What is a Raspberry Pi? How you can connect your Raspberry Pi to your monitor. You use your USB keyboard and a mouse just like you use a normal PC. So what are its components? What can we do with a Raspberry Pi? It has almost all the ports that you can find in a PC. So I'll be talking about what are the models and what are the components that you can find in a Raspberry Pi. Now let's talk about Raspberry Pi models. There are three models that is available in the market. There is a Raspberry Pi Model A, which is Raspberry Pi 1, and there is Raspberry Pi 2 Model B, and a Raspberry Pi 3 and Model B. So here I have Model B, Raspberry Pi 2. This is the Raspberry Pi I'll be using in future videos to show you many different projects that you can do in a Raspberry Pi. There is a Model B Raspberry Pi 3 which has Wi-Fi and a Bluetooth built in within the device. So let's talk about Raspberry Pi components. Now let's talk about Raspberry Pi parts. As you can see here, there are 4 USB ports, one Ethernet cable for internet, there is one HDMI port for monitor, there is another port for powering the Raspberry Pi, and here are some GPIO pins. There are 40 GPIO pins which can be used to connect your Arduinos or GroovePi sensors and different other things. Now let's connect this. USB keyboard, mouse, Ethernet cable for internet, and then HDMI cable for monitor, and then finally your micro SD card which has a software Raspbian into it. Now you are ready to boot up the Raspberry Pi. And now your micro USB cable to power the Raspberry Pi. Now you can see here the Raspberry Pi is booting up. Let's see the screen. Now you can see that Raspberry Pi has boot up. Here you'll be able to move around and use your Raspberry Pi just like you'd use a computer. There are already programs installed in this Raspberry Pi, so you can experiment with them as well. So this is a way to connect your Raspberry Pi to your monitor, mouse and keyboard. Well, now you know how to boot up your Raspberry Pi and use it just like a PC. But before we go any further doing projects in Raspberry Pi, I want to tell you about the software that I have used in Raspberry Pi. So in the memory card that I have shown in the previous part, the software that we are using is called Raspbian software. So in this memory card, I have manually installed a Raspbian system image that runs in the Raspberry Pi. Well, this memory card acts as the hard disk of Raspberry Pi. So without this, the Raspberry Pi won't work. You need a 8 GB SD card. Minimum is 4 GB, but you can use your 8 GB and you can install many different packages if you want to. But there is a pre-installed SD card that you can buy with a Raspberry Pi. If you buy a Raspberry Pi and a pre-installed SD card as well, you do not need anything to do. You can just plug it in your Raspberry Pi and just boot up like this. But if you are just buying a Raspberry Pi and you do not have the pre-installed SD card, then you'll need to manually install a system image in a 8 GB SD card so that you can use it in your Raspberry Pi. In another video, we'll be showing you how to do that exactly, the manual steps to install Raspbian in the SD card. So this is the process how you can first boot up a Raspberry Pi, use your screen, your monitor and a mouse, and use it just like a PC. Now in the next tutorial, we'll be teaching you what are the command lines, what is the terminal, and how it is very helpful while doing many different projects. We'll learn many different Linux commands as well. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.